Hello, hi there, I am Cptsd, and today I'm about to present to you a video from the past. This video was actually filmed on May of 2019, back in my then TV show on Cyprus television. My guest came from Canada, flew all the way from Canada to Cyprus in order to have that interview. I really do hope that you enjoy this interview as much as I enjoyed it back then, filming it, and now watching it again. Sandra Scala is an inspirational person, and I wish her the best. Should you like my video, should you like my channel, please subscribe to it, like and share with your friends.
Hello. This is the first time in my TV show that I talk in English. So I excuse my viewers for my English that is not so fluent as my Greek. Hello, Sandra Scala.
Hi.
Welcome to our show. Today we have the honor to host in our show a guest that has traveled all the way from Canada to Cyprus in order to be with us. Sandra, first of all, thank you very much for your kindness to give us this gift, this present, to be with us.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I will tell you how I met Sandra and why she's here, because I suppose it's your first time on television, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So I can sense that you are a little nervous, which is very natural. I'm also nervous because my English is not as good as my Greek, but we will manage. Okay, Sandra comes from Canada. She's okay talking about her age. She says out loud that she's 39 years old, even though she looks like 25 the most. And she's a mother. She's a mother to 3 beautiful daughters. She's always stepmother to other 4 beautiful children. Okay, and the story of her life is very inspiring. I met Sandra through her page on Facebook. You can find her page on Facebook. If you write The Mind Untangled, as you hear it, TAGMINDUNTANGLED, The Mind Untangled, is the page of Sandra on Facebook, on which she writes her inspiring stories, she writes her thoughts, she posts her pictures and her videos from her everyday life. And your everyday life, Sandra, is not a very common one. Okay, I'll go to the... Oh my God, it's not so easy for me to talk in English. So now you know that you are not stressed all by yourself. I'm also stressed.
No, you're doing
fine. It's the first time I talk in English on television. Well, Sandra has Usher Syndrome.
Yes.
Have I spelled it correctly? Usher Syndrome.
Usher Syndrome.
Usher, you call Usher. It's spelled like this, U-S-H-E-R. Usher Syndrome, which is a rare genetic variety. That's what we decided to call it because we met earlier for coffee, and I suggested, wouldn't it be wonderful if instead of saying genetic diseases or genetic disorders, we use the word genetic varieties. Mm-hmm. Okay, she has born with this genetic variety, and when I was having my makeup before, there was a friend of mine who works in the channel, who is, her job is to translate the language in sign language, okay? She will be on the news, you will see her later. And she has the same name as me, Thekla. And I told her, I have Sandra Scala here, and she came from Canada all the way, because I know only of one person in Cyprus with Usher syndrome. And she tells me, no. There are at least 10 people in Cyprus with Usher syndrome, but the problem is that people don't talk about it.
No.
They don't talk about it. They don't open their mouth and say, I was born with this variety. Your story started with problems with your hearing loss, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's how you call it.
Since I was 5 years old.
Since you were 5 years old.
5 years old, I've been wearing hearing aids.
Hearing aids.
Yeah.
So, at which age you realize that your parents realize that you have some issues with your hearing, the sense of hearing?
5 years old. When I started school.
Okay.
And the teacher said, no, she can't hear.
Okay.
Only when I see them, I learned how to read lips.
Because you speak very fluently. Do you know how much hearing you have? Because I know from my mother is older and she has another genetic variety that gives her loss of hearing in older age.
Yeah.
And she says, the doctors say that she hears 30% or she hears 20% from the other ear. Do you have some percentage? Or you don't measure it like this?
See, you know what? I never really took care of that.
That's how they do it in Cyprus.
It's kind of...
They say this year is 20%, and it has only 20% capacity. This is 30% capacity.
Yeah, no, I never really based it on my percent because I wear hearing aids. So the fact was, I mean,
solved.
What can you do about it? That was my thought.
I mean, as soon as you use the hearing aids, this problem went away.
Yeah, pretty much. So without the hearing aids, I can't hear high-pitched sounds. I can hear low-pitched sounds. But if I don't wear hearing aids, then my balance is off, and I have difficulty.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you grew up knowing from the age of 5 and onwards that you needed some help with hearing, hearing aids, and you needed to put some extra effort in order to communicate with people.
Yeah.
Because of, anyway, I don't know what's going on in Canada, but in Cyprus there is a problem about speaking politically correct. So now have this worry in order not to say a word that is not politically correct. So excuse me, because I know that you're going to take this video with you in Canada. I'm sorry if I use a word that is not politically correct. Okay, you needed to put extra effort in order to communicate with people. Extra effort which was needed because of Usher syndrome. Did you know at that time when you were a teenager or growing up that maybe later you're going to have difficulty with your vision?
No clue.
You had no idea?
No idea.
No idea.
No.
At which age did you discover that you started to have difficulties with your vision?
So maybe the teenager years, but not so much. It started with my night vision. And then when I was 20 years old, that's when I went to get my vision checked. And that's when I first found out. Because they do a visual field test.
Yes.
And they said, because they didn't do it properly, if I didn't go back, they were going to take my license away. So I went back. They didn't take my license away at that time, but they said you have genetic variety.
So
genetic variety.
19 years ago, you found out about Usher syndrome?
20 years ago.
20 years ago.
So 20, yeah, because I'm 30, yeah. 20 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said that you are at the age of 30 or 20?
20. I found out when I was 20.
Okay, so it's 19 years ago. Don't
19,
don't
okay.
add years to your age. So now at this age, Sandra, at the age of 39, she is, as you put it, legally blind.
I'm legally blind.
I thought you would write legally blonde because she was writing. I'm legally blind.
No, legally blind.
Okay, so now you are in a position where your life situation has changed, and you went from having difficulty with one sense, hearing sense. Now your vision is also impaired. Is it a politically correct word to use? Okay. How I met Sandra. I know of a lady, I won't say where she comes from, she's from Greece, whatever, that she has Usher syndrome. And she kept texting me, emailing me, telling me about her disorder, how it impairs her life, how it makes her unhappy, how she gets frustrated because she had this bad luck to be born with these genes. That her fear is that she will at some point she will lose her license, her driving license, which you did. We'll talk about it later on the interview. And she goes on and says, I'm so unlucky, I'm unhappy, and I see no future. And my tunnel vision is spreading in my psychological vision. The way I see with my mind is also in tunnel vision. And I texted back because I'm a psychologist, Sandra, but I don't work with people anymore. I am on television, I'm on YouTube, and I write books. So I don't do any sessions. I might text, you know how I text, cards and cards and more cards. Yes, with a lot of words. And I suggested that she should go online and find forums and communities where people talk online with Usher syndrome and talk about how they feel and exchange experiences so that she can realize that she's not alone.
Yeah.
And then she comes next day and she sends an article of yours, a post. She says, I found this lady, she's in Canada, she's so far away. And imagine, she has Usher syndrome, but she's married, she has been married twice, she has 3 children, 4 stepchildren, and she's happy, and she enjoys life, and she has her own Facebook page, and she talks everywhere about it. Hi, I'm Sandra, and I have Usher syndrome. And I shared your post, and then we started talking. And it was a revelation to me, a true revelation, because it's another thing to read about something in a book or watch on a TV show like people might watch now, about how people in other countries, they have different ways of viewing the world, or different ways of celebrating life. And it's totally different when you meet a person. Because even online you meet somebody. I mean, it's not that we met today. We've met some months ago. So I asked you, would you come and share your story? Because I think that your story will be very inspiring for many people, not only in Cyprus, but in Greece as well, that I have a lot of followers on my channel, but all around the world, since this TV show will be on the internet, not even on TV air. So that's why we're here. Because you are legally blind, but you are not legally deaf. Only blind. I was trying to get that. So, how did you feel when you first heard of your diagnosis?
I was scared, and I was upset.
Upset.
You know, a lot of questions were, why me? Why did I have to have this problem happen? I mean, it's nobody's fault.
Tough luck, they say.
I had gone for genetic testing maybe about 10 years ago now, and the lady there had said, because I asked her how did this all happen, and she just said it's just luck.
Yes, it's just luck. It's
just luck. It just happened to be one bad gene here, one bad gene there, and it's just luck. I mean,
you know something? I was thinking how this gene, which is mostly found in the Mediterranean, traveled all the way to Canada. And then she comes here and they say, is one of your parents Italian? And what do you say? Both of your parents are Sicilian. So you're Mediterranean as well. So these genes traveled all the way from Sicily to Canada. And you know we share genes, you know this, huh?
And but you know what? Usher syndrome is all over the world.
Yes, of course.
And it's like you said, nobody talks about it. You know, you get this feeling of fear, and that, you know, what are people going to think about me? What are they going to say? You know, even growing up when I had my hearing loss, I always had my hair long, covering my hearing aid, because I was embarrassed, right?
And at that time, the hearing aid was large,
the
and
big
you could
one.
see it coming out of the ear.
Yeah. And then as soon as I could get the small ones, I got the small ones.
That should be really embarrassing when you were a teenager, huh? It should be difficult for a teenager, when you were a teenager, to carry such a device on your ear that everybody could see.
Everybody could see it, you know. Even when my first real job, you know, you get nervous about, are people going to treat me differently? Are they going to think differently? You know, and back then, even now, I just want to be treated as equal as everyone else. So,
you come from Canada. I've never been to Canada, but I'd love to be there. I'd also love to immigrate to Canada, to tell you the truth, because I get the sense that your country has laws and attitude to the public that is much better than ours, or much more advanced. I don't know, maybe I have an idea that is not so
what, more civilized? Or
no, I, for example, I've watched several Canadian series, TV series, and through the TV series you see how people talk, or how people, I'm not using the word civilized in order to suggest that we don't have civilization in our country. I'm talking about social norms, more advanced way of thinking. It's not about education, it's about mentality, society's mentality. But maybe I don't have an idea because I've never been there, and all I know is from the books I read because I read several books from Canadian writers, or what I saw on television. So maybe I'm not right.
Yeah, well, and from my point of view, I mean, for me, I was lucky enough to be brought up in a family that was accepting. And in an area, I grew up in a small town, so everybody knew everybody. And
what was it? What's your hometown?
Hometown? Flesherton.
Where is that?
Flesherton.
Is it near Ontario? Is it near?
Yeah, we're in Ontario, 2 hours north of Toronto.
So, how many are the people? The population? What's the population of your hometown?
700.
Oh. 700
people.
Like, it's like a whole island. So you don't say it's small.
No, it's a small town, and that was the thing. Like even in high school, growing up.
No, it's not a small town. You know how much population is in Cyprus? The whole Cyprus has just under 1 million.
1 million.
So 700,000. It's
no, not 700,000. 700
people. No, that was a village. It was not a town. It was a village. No, that's a village.
We call it a small town.
Yes. So it's very small society.
700 people.
How many of those people were Sicilian or of Italian descent?
Where?
Most of them.
No.
Just you?
My family, and there were maybe a couple of other Italian families. No. There was.
When did your parents emigrate to Canada?
Ooh, my mother was 3 and my dad was 9.
Oh, a very long time
They were very
ago.
young too.
Like 50 years ago or something.
Yeah.
So you speak Italian?
No. I only know the words I need to know. My girls understand me when I speak to them in Italian.
Just the swearing words. Like you say French.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
So you were born and brought up in a village. Sorry. I know that in Canada and in the US they call a small town if they have a population of 500 people. But in Cyprus we have villages with 200 people, 300 people. I mean, with 1,000 people, 2,000 people. So it was a small place.
Yeah. See, well, in the town we live in now, in Durham, there's approximately 2,000 people. So it's a step up.
Yes.
It's a bit more.
Do you like Durham more than your hometown?
Durham it's more accessible for me because I don't drive. Everything right there in walking distance, right? So I don't have to rely on everybody. If I have to go to the store, I can walk to the store. If I have to go to the bank, I go to the bank. Whereas in Flesherton, you have to drive to get somewhere, you know. So we used to live on a lake in Flesherton, so that was nice.
Oh yes.
But I love where I live now.
Home with your parents, or the home you shared with your first husband?
I shared my parents. I lived with my parents for a few years, yeah.
And now your parents also moved to Durham?
So now my parents moved to Durham.
Okay.
And they're right beside us. And then they also have a trailer that they go to in the summertime.
In the village. In the town.
The village.
Yes. In the
So
lake.
they're close by. They like to be close by.
So your parents look a lot like Cypriot parents. They sound a lot like Cypriot parents, because in our society, parents care for their children even after they grow up, especially when they have some needs that they want to meet. Now we see on the picture, this is your mom, your dad.
Yeah. And that's my twin sister.
That's your twin sister.
Yeah.
You are the one with the glasses. Oh, your parents, okay, we might say that they might look like Cyprians, because Sicilians and Greeks and Cypriots we have a lot of similarities. Can you show the picture, the first picture of when she was born with your twin sister? Because you have a twin sister. Oh, let me see who you are. The one on the right?
Which one?
Ah, yes.
Which one am I?
Which one are you? I mean, you look so similar, huh? And you look like your sister. You are not. You don't share the same genes, but you look a lot like sisters.
See, and I was talking to Mom.
Who are you? Who are you?
I'm on the right.
That one.
This right.
This right.
This is Josie, and that's me.
I got you right.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah.
That it was you. I don't know why, because the structure of your face, it looks like you. And that's your sister Josie, yeah?
And see, and a lot of questions when we were growing up was, are you identical or are you fraternal?
You're fraternal, isn't it?
Well, my mom was always told that we're identical, because we were in the same egg, but the length of time that it took to split, you know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't even know how to explain it, but we are identical, but she doesn't have the same genes as me.
Oh.
So I have my older brother
who has the same genes as you.
The same thing.
I'm sorry to interrupt at this point, but we have to go for break and come back. So you are identical, not fraternal.
We're identical.
Oh.
We are identical.
Lovely. Let's go for a short break and be back. We'll be back. And we are back. It's so refreshing talking to you, Sandra, even outside the studio. How do you feel after the first experience, the first 20-minute experience on television?
No, I'm okay now.
You're okay.
I'm okay. You make it very relaxing, very easy.
Nice. So now we see a picture of you and your sister. You're toddlers there. How old are you?
We are about 3 years old.
3 years old.
Yeah.
And you are the guy, who are you again?
I'm on the right.
You're on the right.
That's,
okay.
Yeah.
You always take that side. How close are you with your sister?
Best friends.
Best friends.
Yeah.
Now here you are with your sister these days.
This is my sister.
So your sister dyed her hair blonde the way I did, so that you know which one is one, huh?
Yeah.
And
as we were growing up, a lot of people always thought she was older than me.
Older than you.
And I'm 17 minutes older than her. Yeah.
Lovely. You said before that at the age of 5 you were diagnosed with hearing loss, and so you needed the hearing aids. And at that time your mother thought that now that this is you, this is just you, isn't it? Show that this is so sweet, such a sweet picture. Oh. And your mother thought that your sister might also experience the same problems with her hearing at the time.
My sister?
Your mother.
But
when you were 5 years old, you were first diagnosed with your hearing issues. Did your mother fear at that time that your sister might also have the same problems? No.
No. But see, my brother was also diagnosed at a very young age as well.
Your brother is older than you?
My brother is 5 years older than me. So now what is he? He's 45 years old.
So your brother has also Usher syndrome?
Yeah.
So your mother knew when you were diagnosed, she knew already that there was this procedure?
Yep. The hearing loss, maybe she knew that it would be possible for us as well.
Okay.
So we're kind of following in my brother's footsteps.
What about your brother? What type of person is your brother?
My brother is...
You didn't send a picture of your brother, or if you send one, I haven't noticed.
I did send.
You sent one with his wife and kids?
He doesn't have children. They just got married in 2013.
Nice.
So, no children, but he's happy. He lives in Nunavut, up in the Arctic.
Up.
Yeah, minus 50 degrees. Gaetano, he doesn't really talk about it. He's okay with it. When he found out that he was having vision problems, that's when I went to go and get checked, and that's how I found out that it was the same thing. So, and then Josie never had any problem.
So she's the lucky one, according to genes.
From
the gene side. Your sister, the lucky one. The lucky one.
Yeah.
She won the lottery of the three.
Yeah.
She's the one with no issues.
She's the one with no issues. Yeah, if you want to say that.
No Usher syndrome, no issues. Okay, let's talk about this.
She's all good. She doesn't, she wears glasses for reading, but that's it.
Do you have the impression, or do you associate Usher syndrome with any kind of psychological issues? I don't think it's related.
No.
You can't say it's related. You can't say that somebody, if it's different, he has psychological issues.
But you know what? I think anybody who is hit with the fact that they're going to be losing their vision over time is going to have some psychological issues. Because you have to, it's kind of going through the death stage, right? You have to accept it.
To grieve.
The grief stage, sorry. But
no, it's okay. The grief that comes after a death, but the diagnosis that you are going to have tunnel vision, and we have a picture here. This picture was sent by Sandra. On the right side, you can see Sandra the way we see her.
Yes.
On the left side, it's the way Sandra sees us.
Yeah.
So when we say tunnel vision, Sandra explained it like this. Your vision goes...
Exactly.
And you see through a tunnel. Then this is why you cannot drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's no peripheral vision.
No peripheral vision.
No night vision.
No night vision, no peripheral vision. When somebody has Usher syndrome, his vision difficulties grow to have no peripheral vision and no night vision.
Right. Yeah.
And your vision is narrowed down to that spectrum. That small spectrum.
Yep. So if I don't, sometimes, if I'm talking to you, I won't see somebody here right beside me, So anybody, it's funny because my youngest daughter, she used to trick me. She would come and she would hide because she knew I wouldn't be able to see her, right? So that's how we deal with it. My children, I never wanted them to feel sorry for me. I don't want nobody to feel sorry for me, right?
Here are your daughters.
These are my girls.
Beautiful daughters.
Yes, this is Juliana,
Juliana is the older one.
And Madison.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sandra, when you realize at the age of 20 that you have your label, you have your diagnosis, you have Usher syndrome, You had an original psychological shock. You went through the grieving stage, as you said before.
Yeah.
Can you remember that period of your time, your life? Or you don't want to remember?
Yeah.
You
Oh
don't?
yeah. No, it's okay. At the time that I found out, I was still 20 and I was still dating someone, and I remember just telling him about it.
Don't tell me that dating stops with Usher syndrome.
I
Please don't.
No, well, that relationship.
I was still dating, she says. Okay.
No.
Usher syndrome doesn't make you not eligible for dating.
No.
does it?
No. I mean, shortly after I found out, anyways, I had met my husband and my ex-husband and
Your first husband. Your first
my
ex.
first husband.
Now you will say. We joked before with her husband on COVID time.
But no, there was a lot of crying, and I mean, we were all very upset.
You realized it? You realized when you were first diagnosed that it's gonna be so that it would have such a powerful impact on your life? You realized it, huh?
Yeah.
So you are the type of person that goes ahead and faces the problem with no hiding. This is the problem, I face it.
Pretty much, and because if you dwell on something too much, if you dwell on a problem too much, I mean, you can't change what happened. And with Usher syndrome now, there is no cure for
Yes,
Usher
but you are
syndrome.
telling me outside something that I didn't know, that I haven't read of, that there has been research done, and hopefully a cure will be found, especially for vision.
Yes, and there's a lot of research. There's the Foundation Fighting Blindness, there's the Canadian National Institute for the Blind, and I mean, these are just Canada. Then you have United States, there's a lot of research as well, right? But, and then a lot of it has to do with the genetic testing. I mean, I think it's all in finding the right mutation to fix the gene.
Yes.
And then you go from there, but it's just baby steps.
Yes.
And
but it's encouraging that they are dealing with it and they don't see it's a lost case. Okay, you have Usher syndrome, it can't be fixed, we won't do anything about it. And there are also treatments which help you make your life better, isn't it?
yeah,
I mean, you go to the doctor, you go to the eye doctor, you go to the ear doctor, you go, isn't it?
yeah,
You have
Yeah.
regular checks. Do you take any medicine?
I don't.
You don't?
No.
No, I mean, there is no
Like-
medicine that is prescribed for Usher syndrome.
They say vitamin A. So there's the omega-3. So I take omega-3 and supplements and cod liver oil, the fish. So,
Are you sure that it's helping you? Because I don't know. We had on the show, we had a scientist talking to us about misconceptions about how supplements might help or not. But you do it. You do what the doctors say.
Yeah, and that's just the thing. Like, I don't notice the difference. I mean, all I can do is be hopeful. But the only thing I noticed is my vision closing in, not staying the same or not getting better, right? So.
But it's been over the process of 19 years. It's gradual. It's not from the one day to the other.
No, it is gradual, and sometimes it's different for everybody, right? Some progress faster than others. So.
When you first found out, and you had your first original shock and the grieving period, after that, did you emerge out happier or better or forgetting about it? That sometimes it came back to remind you that the problem is here, the vision is narrowing.
I never really forget about it.
Yes, but there are times that you try to forget, isn't it?
I try.
Maybe in the past, easier.
And you know what it is that even back then and even now, like, I continued to go to work. I continued to...
Do you go to work now?
Well, no. I don't, actually.
Because I read your article in which you said that your license was taken from you. You were not allowed to drive anymore. And you had to go to work using the transportation, which was very difficult for you, and you are crying on the pavement. I'm telling you that you have a gift for writing. And I didn't know before you told me before that you're writing a book.
See, I do have the book here. I did write a book.
And you have the book. Is it published?
I have a book here. But I'm planning on writing my biography as well. And so that's going to be ready soon, hopefully.
So you have written already a book?
But I have a book.
Nice.
Yeah.
What type of book is it? Is it a novel? Is it fiction? What is it?
So it's, I called it New Beginnings. And I have a collection of all my writings in it for people going through anxiety, people going through hard times in their life.
Nice.
And
So it's
just
an
to give
inspirational
that inspiration.
book.
Yeah.
Nice.
See, now when you say to me, how did I feel when I first found out? It hit me more when I lost my license, because I was on my own with the girls. That's when my whole life changed, big time. And before then, it was just, okay, go to work, do my thing, it's okay, life goes on. You can't do anything about it, right?
But you were also unhappy in your marriage. In your first marriage, you were unhappy.
And then,
And you decided to end it, even though you had Usher Syndrome. That's your book. Just thoughts, just words, in hopes of tranquility.
This one here, this is my first mini one. I did another one. It's not public yet.
Okay.
So
you also have a web page.
Pardon me?
You have a web page, the Mind Untangled on Facebook. So the people who watch the show, they might find you on Facebook, follow your page, read your updates, talk with you. And if they wish, they can contribute with their own thoughts, commenting your thoughts, because you have a philosophical way of thinking. I must say that, because I've read most of your posts. It shows somebody who is thinking, who is working with her emotions, who's working with her fears, who is trying to find higher meaning in everyday situations. This is what we call spirituality, of course. I can sense that you have spirituality which makes you gifted in order to express, to be a person, a channel to express to the outside that people with Usher syndrome or any other kind of rare genetic disease or any kind of disability, they can be happy, they can be sad, they can be angry, they can be frustrated, they can be very happy, they can be, my English is so limited, they can be eluded with joy, they can divorce, they can remarry. You know why I'm saying this? Because this girl I know, that she's from Greece, she says, I think she's 31, 32, and she says, I'm thinking nobody would marry me if they knew that I have Usher syndrome. Who would love me? These are thoughts and ideas of a young girl living in Greece, living in a small in a small community, in a certain type of society, that they think in certain ways. Have you read any Greek mythology or Greek history? No.
Just what you
have you? No, you I haven't heard. I haven't read the Canadian history. There was this place in ancient Greece, Sparta. Have you heard of Sparta? Okay, Sparta was a belligerent town, belligerent city. In ancient Greece, they had cities that were like countries. It was a very belligerent city. And what did the Spartans do? When a child who is born with some a disability, they threw the children in the river called Kiadas.
Oh.
Yes. This is it's not a myth, it's a historic event. And this way of thinking, that they thought that we are like warriors and we need healthy children in our society, and in ancient Sparta, it was all about fighting. It was all about living in the army. It was all about belligerent. She's upset. Belligerent ways of living, and this is what we use as a paradigm when we see this kind of behavior in modern life. That somebody might say, I'm not gonna date this girl because she has this health issue. I'm not gonna date this guy because he has the other health issue. And we use it as an example. Are we in ancient Greece? Are we in ancient Sparta? Do we have this kind of old brains that they did not respect life? They did not respect variety. They don't respect the soul. Because the body, it's just a vessel that takes you around. The mind, the soul, the mind which you want to untangle. I didn't say that to make you sad. I'm just trying to explain to you how somebody feels in Greece or in Cyprus, the societies that I know well, when they get a diagnosis.
Yeah.
And they get the doctor says, that's your life from now on. You had hearing issues, now you're going to have vision issues. It's not going to get better. It's a syndrome. There is no cure yet. So a young girl, a young man will start thinking, who will love me? Who will marry me? Who will spend their lives with me?
Yeah.
You understand?
I understand. And you know, as hard as it is not to think those thoughts, I think a lot of people do think like that. I mean, even me, I tried it again with my children's father, and maybe it was because in my head I was thinking, well, I have my own issues, my children, they have some challenges, but at that point in time, I couldn't deal with it.
So you were the one who decided to take a divorce.
Yeah.
You are the one who suggested that we do not get along, we should go on separate ways.
Yeah.
After the divorce, you have the tunnel vision, you have your license taken away, you have the difficulty of attending work, through to not be able to drive, through to taking care of 3 young children, and also having to use the transportation for 3-4 hours a day. You see, I read your stuff. So at that time, you have a weak moment, moment of weakness. You say, who am I to struggle by myself for a better future? Let's settle with that situation from which I got out by myself because it was not suitable for me. So you made some step backwards, and you went back to try.
Yes, I did.
To try. Don't feel bad about it. We all do that. I mean, it's very common in people.
What, to give it another chance?
Yes, I mean, when you get a divorce or especially from a relationship, because you know that you can have children without being married these days. If there are children involved, sometimes people try again.
Yeah. And
or they feel weak and they go back, even if they don't have any children.
The only thing is that I didn't want my children to feel encouraged. I didn't want my children to think, oh, they're trying again and be all happy, and then,
That's why you didn't go back.
Well, we did go back, but then at the end of the day, I couldn't really, I had to think about if I was happy and if I would stay happy. And
if you would stay alive, because let me tell you this, I believe this strongly as a psychologist and as a woman, that if you are in an unhappy relationship, that marriage is a very important relationship. Because you asked me, do you get angry with people? I told you I get angry to people I go to bed with. I share my bed, or I share my kitchen, or I share my bathroom. I don't get angry with people I don't see all the time. So any person who endures staying in a relationship that they are not happy, they put their health and their longevity at risk.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
And that's what I've seen through through working with people as 20 years as a clinician. I've seen this, that in cases where people broke their they broke free, especially after a diagnosis,
Yeah.
a difficult diagnosis, people who broke free, they had a much better health than people who were afraid, and they say, now my diagnosis is putting me, is restraining me.
Yeah.
I don't have so many options. And this doesn't only have to do with health issues. Somebody might think, I don't have many options. I'm 40 years old. I don't have many options. I'm 45, or I will not be able to have children from time and onwards. Always there are limitations in our brain that suggest that we give up fighting and stay in a relationship that we're not happy.
You're right.
So how long did it take trying again?
We were together. How long were we together for?
The second
About
time.
A year and a half.
A year and a half. How was that year in your life?
It wasn't the greatest. I would know. I was going through a lot of emotional, too many emotional ups and downs. So it wasn't healthy for me, and in that turn, it wasn't healthy for my children at the time, right? Because I wanted to be happy for my kids. That's what.
If the mother is not happy, or the father is not happy, if the parent is not happy, then the children can't be happy. You know, I also write books. A title of one of my books is Happy Mother, Happy Children.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is, it's not only for mothers, it's for fathers as well, which suggests exactly this, that if the prime caregiver of children is in an unhappy situation, this affects the children in a bad way.
It does, yeah.
And you can understand this because you are coming from a loving family, and your parents, they seem to be a loving couple.
Yeah, yeah. How long now? Oh, shoot. They've been together a long time.
Okay.
I can't think.
So they've been together at least 46 years since your father is 45.
Wait, my brother 45, they've been together 47 years.
See?
You're right.
That's how I find out how many years they've been together. With my age, they add up. I'm the first child, so you're the second child.
Second child.
Second and third as well,
Second.
because you are. So then they seem really together. I mean, they're close in the picture.
Yeah.
The picture shows that they have intimacy.
Yeah, they are. You know what? They're amazing.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky.
And they
very
seem
supportive.
still in love, huh?
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you this: seeing you with your husband. Now I want the picture of Mark. This is Mark. This is her new husband.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yep.
Show me the picture of the wedding, the one with Mark. Ah, wow. When was your wedding?
July 7th of last year.
Last year,
Yeah.
July 7th of 2018. My wedding was on September 8th of 2018.
There you go.
Yes. And this is the picture, and it's everybody here.
This
huh?
is everybody. This is
This
our
is
family.
everybody. That's Mark. That's you.
Yeah.
Mark kids and your kids.
This is, yes. So Mark's oldest son, Josh, and then Jacob, Justin at the end. This is my daughter at the end, Madison, Mark's daughter, Naomi, my daughter, Juliana, and my little daughter, Clarissa.
Who is the lady in the red dress?
That's Juliana.
Your daughter.
That's my daughter. That's my oldest daughter.
Ah.
Yes.
The picture doesn't seem very clear from here.
No, it looks blurry, but
Who is Mark's daughter?
beside Juliana and Madison, the one in the middle.
Okay.
She got her arm like this.
Nice.
Yeah.
So here we have a couple that they remarry.
Yeah.
She has 3 children. he has 4 children and they unite their families.
Yeah.
How nice is that?
It's awesome.
How nice is that?
You know
it's
what?
awesome.
I can't complain. They all get along well, and sometimes it can get hectic and crazy and busy.
Yes, but because you have teenagers, you have all the ages.
We have teenagers, and the 2 older boys are out now. They're on their own, and so we have Justin and Naomi 50% of the time, right? And
so Mark gets shared custody of his children.
Yeah, he has.
Shared parenting is an issue that we need to address in Cyprus this time. I was telling you before.
Yeah.
In Cyprus, the law usually doesn't allow shared parenting, which is it's beautiful, isn't it, for the children to be able to spend time with both their parents, if this is possible from the parents.
And as long as the parents get along, then you're able to do shared custody, right?
Yes.
So
because you don't do shared custody with your daughters, you don't do, isn't
no,
it?
I have sole custody of my girls, and we have them all the time, except every other weekend, and every Wednesday night for a couple of hours they
go and stay with their father.
They go stay with their father. Yep. Okay. And then in the summer, Christmas, Easter, all the holidays are split equally.
So you do it like Cyprus. Most Cypriot couples, when they have a divorce, this is what happens. The children stay with the mother's sole custody. It's a different word that we use here in Cyprus, and the father gets visitation rights.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See. Yep.
Do they enjoy the time with their father?
They do.
They do.
They do.
I was reading on one of your posts, and it inspired me, because you were talking about how to put your children's emotional well-being first, and then your own feelings. And you were writing something like, when just after the divorce, things were difficult, and it was difficult for me to encourage my children to visit their father.
Yeah.
You wrote that,
Yeah.
but I thought that my children, they have the right to have a relationship with their father. And this is one of my passions, fighting against parental alienation.
Yeah.
You know what parental alienation is?
I do.
You know, because you have very nice court decisions in Canada against parental alienation. And what would you have to say to women watching our show, Cypriot women, or Greek women, or women around the world, that they have a divorce, a bitter divorce, they have an ex who is making their life difficult anyway. I mean, okay, we've all been divorced, at least on this set. At least on this set, everybody has been divorced once, at least once. And we know that the divorce can get bitter. I mean, you say you badmouth the other person, you might get angry, you might... and there are very common cases that bitter mothers, and more rarely bitter fathers, because usually the custody goes on the mother in our societies, Greece and Cyprus, they decide to alienate the child from the father. But you have to tell them, because imagine Sandra was married to somebody that she wasn't happy with. Okay, we say no more. Even me, that I'm very talkative and I talk a lot about my personal life. I've never talked publicly about why I got a divorce from my first husband, the father of my children, and I will never do that. You understand? Because I respect the marriage we had, and I respect my children. Okay? Yep. So saying we didn't get along or I wasn't happy in the marriage is not like accusing the other person, it's saying the truth.
No, and it's not,
And
it shouldn't be taken as something hurtful.
It's the real reason why people, they're not happy together.
Yeah.
You were not happy with him, he was not happy with you. My first husband, my children's father, several years after the divorce, he says to me, don't say ever again that you chose the divorce, because it was a similar case. I chose to divorce because I'm much happier now that we are divorced.
Yeah.
And you should say that we both decided to get a divorce. Because I was telling you in the beginning, you'll see your life will become better. Because if the relationship is not good for me, it's not good for the other person also.
Exactly. Yep.
I mean, if I'm unhappy, how can you be happy with me and me I'm unhappy? You share happiness and unhappiness.
You do, and it has to work both ways.
Yes.
You know, you have to try, and then there's a point where you've tried so many times, but it doesn't change, right? So then that's when you say, okay, I will be happier this way, you will be happier that way. Let's just move on. Sometimes you have to do what you think is.
How old were you when you met your first husband?
21.
Yes, we are so young. We know now at this time that the brain develops until the age of 24.
Yeah.
The brain development stops at the age of 24. So a child, a teenager, at the age of 21 is not a formed adult yet in order to choose according to who she is or who he is.
Yeah.
So choices you make before the age, I wouldn't say 24, before the age of 30 I would say, or the age of 28, there is a high possibility that they go wrong. They go wrong on the way that when you grow up, you grow apart or you grow in different directions. And what do you have to say to these bitter parents, the alienator parents, who decide to take revenge on their ex by excluding him or her from the child's life?
I know, well, you're not going to get anywhere. I mean, the children need both parents, and as much as the parents fighting against each other, it's not the children's fault. Right? The children need routine, stability, and consistency. That's what I say. And if they see the parent trying to get along, trying to do the better for everybody, then the children will be able to accept things more easily. But if there's a mother trying to put down the father all the time, or the father not able to see the children, or the mother not able to see the children both ways, that does nobody good.
It happens in
Canada. They have to put their anger aside, put their power, I think it's all about control and power.
Of your emotions.
Their emotions.
Yes.
And they got to set that aside for the kids, right?
How easy is that for you to achieve? Because how easy was that for you to achieve, to put your anger aside? Because at that time, when you were divorcing, especially the second time, okay, you had a lot in your plate.
Yeah.
You had a lot. I mean, it was a very, very, very rich period with difficulties.
But you know what?
I had
a lot of support too. I had a lot of family support, friends, and anytime I looked at my kids, it was all about my kids. I just, even working, I kept pushing to work for them, trying to show them that, even through the difficult times, even through anything, there's always a way. You just have to work for it, right? And back when I first, because I had to go through trial. You know trial.
Ask me about it.
So no,
you had to go through my family court. Ask me about it. I was working as a forensic psychologist in family court and criminal court for years, and it was so hard for me being an outsider. Imagine how hard it is for the people who go through trial.
Yeah.
Really hard.
I ended up doing it on my own. Because I didn't want to pay more money for a lawyer.
You do that. So many people do that. So you are representing yourself.
So I represented myself in 3-day trial.
3-day trial.
Yeah. And, you asked about, one of the things I said to the judge and I don't think this is bad in any way.
You have jury in Canada?
In Canada.
You have jury as well? Do you have only judge or judge and jury?
Just the judge.
Hi, so your judicial system looks a lot like ours because it was from the English judiciary system. Okay.
It depends, yeah. So no, I spoke to the judge, and I took a picture of my girls, and I said, these are my girls, and I would do anything for them. And that's just it. Through any hardships or any arguments or anything, it comes down to the kids. You know, you want to support the kids, you want to give them a good life, you want to teach them the right things. And if they see parents who are arguing all the time and not getting along all the time, then that's not setting a good example, right?
I agree with you. The judge agreed with you?
Yeah.
Well, what were you asking from the judge at that time? What was your demand from the court? To have full custody?
Sole custody.
Sole custody.
Yeah.
Because you argued that this was for the best of the children.
Yeah.
Okay. So you say that in some cases, like in Mark's case, shared custody is a good solution, but in other cases, sole custody might be a better solution.
Yeah.
But sole custody doesn't exclude visitation rights with the other parent.
No.
Okay.
And you know what? Every family situation is different too, right?
Of course.
So.
You know, when I got divorced, I was 26 years old. My son was 4 years old. My daughter was 18 months old. And 2 years after the separation, as short as the divorce, when the divorce came through, when the divorce papers came through, my ex-husband decided to emigrate back to Greece because he's not from Cyprus.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have only sole custody, but we had no father visiting.
Oh, wow.
For the weekends.
Yeah.
That was a difficult thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, this is what I have to work with. And
Yeah.
we found ways.
Exactly.
We found ways like putting the children on a plane for paying, there is this, when children travel with a flight attendant helping them. So they were flying back and forth on holidays, on Christmas, on Easter, in the summer.
Yeah.
And we went through it. I mean, I'm pro shared custody, but if the other person decides to emigrate, for example, you can't go for it.
Yeah.
Sandra, did you imagine that you would fall in love with Mark at the time it happened and the way it happened? Because I asked you how to, and you said that your children were at the same school.
Yeah.
And you met accidentally. You didn't plan on it. You didn't talk on a website, because people are met on websites now. They're met on Tinder. They're met on Facebook. They're met on Twitter or everywhere. Did you visualize about this before it happened, or it was a surprise in your life?
No, I had set myself in my head. I didn't want to get married again.
Oh.
I didn't want to be with a man. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to focus on my girls and just take it as a day at a time. And then Juliana, my oldest daughter, she had to do a science project, and her partner was Justin, Mark's oldest son.
Yeah.
So, and we met. We met.
And it happened.
And it didn't happen that first time. That was in March, February, March of 2016. And then in June, I had a birthday party for Juliana, end of year school party, birthday party all at once. And I invited Justin and Naomi over. So it was on Mark's week with his kids, and he came, he hung around. He helped with the barbecue and the food, and I thought, oh no.
So it was as if it was predestined for you to meet. As if it was a plan. Not your plan, not his plan. A cosmic plan, a divine plan.
And it's weird
as if
how
it was settled. Huh?
Well, because it's weird how it turned out too, because so our children have autism. And so
all our children, you say it again?
Three of our children have autism.
3 of your children have autism.
Autism.
And they are on the spectrum, you mean?
They're on the spectrum.
Okay. 3 of the children that you share, 3 of the 7 children They are on the autism spectrum.
On the autism spectrum.
Lovely
yes.
genes, variety.
Right?
Yes, let's go.
So, and yeah.
Genes are playing with your family as well. Because we were out for the break, and we met with other people from the station, and they were discussing this, that genes play a huge role in our lives,
Yeah.
and they make.
But we wouldn't have met if our children.
Of course.
And when I saw the way he is with children, like he patient, he was kind, he was helpful, and he swept me off my feet.
He has kind soul. Your husband has a kind soul.
Yeah.
And I could see that through his eyes.
Yeah.
And of course you have an angelic soul. He has a kind soul, you have an angelic soul. But by seeing him, my gut instinct,
Yeah.
when I see somebody for the first time, I can tell, I can sense if they are good people or not. He's a very good person.
Yes.
You also.
And I'm very lucky. And he's lucky
And he's
too.
very lucky, Sandra.
We're both lucky.
Both of you are lucky. Come on now, don't do that.
No, but
He's lucky, and I see you well together.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this truthfully.
And you know
Because
what?
if I saw you, if we met, and I noticed that you are not having a good relationship, I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't give you a bad review. But if I see a good review, I say it.
Yeah. And then you know what? We're still in love mode. It's weird and it's true. It's with everything that's going on in our lives, we manage to take time together, and that's
Honey,
what's important.
Real love lasts.
Right?
Real love lasts.
Yeah.
That's why your parents' love lasts.
Yeah.
That's why my parent loves lasts.
Yeah.
That's why your relationship with Mark lasts. And I wish for you to be happy all the way so that it lasts.
Yeah.
Because we don't advise people to stay in a relationship just for the formality of it, if they feel like it.
No.
I think you found your soulmate. You use this word, soulmate? Soulmate.
Your soulmate. Yeah.
Yes, he's, huh?
He's my soulmate.
He's your soulmate.
Look at him.
And you look alike. Look at
We
him.
look alike.
He's very cute. He looks younger than what he's. He's a bit older than you, not very much.
He is.
He's a
But
bit older, but he's very youthful.
And he's fun.
Yes,
He likes to do things. So, and that's a big part for me.
Energetic.
Because it just, pardon?
Energetic. Fun and energetic.
Fun and energetic. Energetic?
Energetic, he has energy.
Energy, yeah.
Yes.
Energetic. Okay. And he is.
My English is not good.
Since we've met, we've done a few trips. We've done we've experienced a lot of things together.
We came to Cyprus first of all.
Oh well, we came to Cyprus
on a
now, too.
14-hour flight.
But 2 years ago, for example,
You went to Germany.
we went to Germany for the vision thing.
And it was a scam.
And it was not turned out.
I want to talk a little bit about it, because when you have something like Usher syndrome or any other kind of syndrome or variety or whatever or disease, you go online and you try to read information.
Yeah.
And there are websites to be trusted, that are websites from the government, from the World Health Organization, from universities, and there are other websites who are fishing for customers. And they try to find people who would pay anything in order to have a miracle.
Yeah.
So it seems that you were
I was hopeful, and
you were conned at the end, isn't it?
Yeah.
You were conned. This is the word to use. Conned.
Would you call it conned? No. Yeah.
Yes, it's a con, because if I imagine before you go there, you send your file, your medical file, your tests. So the doctors, they were doctors actually. So the people there knew your diagnosis and they knew your status. And they promised to you that if you come to Germany and pay all this amount of money, we will fix your vision or improve your vision.
Yeah.
Fix
improve.
it? What do you say?
Improve.
And you went there, how much did you spend?
Yeah.
A lot of money. With no improvement.
Nothing. No.
So what would you advise people who are in a similar situation and they have, they meet people online that they give them high hopes for new treatments that's never been tried before?
You have to, you just have to be careful who it is. You can't trust everybody out there.
At least
because even for the Usher Syndrome community, there is no cure yet. And whether somebody says, yeah, this is going to help you, come give us this kind of money and we'll do this treatment on you. It's not.
They should be cautious.
It's just false hope.
Be cautious.
You know?
Yes.
It's the ones that are the doctors that are doing genetic testing who have, you know, proven results. Those are the people who you turn to and you read about.
Okay.
So.
How did you feel after you discovered that your trip to Germany didn't bring the positive effects on your vision that you were hoping for or that you were promised?
I was upset, but I was okay.
Did you like Germany?
I love Germany. Well, and Mark's from Germany.
Ah, Mark is German.
His background is German.
Both his parents?
And we met both of his parents, yeah.
Really?
And we met his family there. So, and my mom and dad flew out, and they were there too.
So then a German Canadian married an Italian Canadian.
Yeah.
So he's German, of German descent.
Yeah.
He speaks German?
Yeah.
At what age did he immigrate to Canada?
Who? Mark?
Mark.
No, Mark was born in Canada.
Was born in Canada.
His parents were born in Germany.
Okay, so you made a whole trip out of it.
So, and that was.
Oh, I love your wedding picture. It's so nice. Very
there
nice.
There you go. That was the whole thing. We went to Germany with the mindset that, you know, it could work and maybe it won't. I didn't, you know, I was hopeful, but at the same time, we made it something that we would make memorable. That's my thing. I try to make everything I do memorable, and I take pictures in my head so I can remember these things, you know, because it's true. As my vision gets smaller,
so
at least I'll remember everything in my head.
Oh.
So coming to Cyprus, you know, when we were flying down, we saw the pyramids in Egypt. That was awesome. Who gets to see a pyramid every day?
You saw them from the plane?
So we saw the pyramid from the plane. But, you know, like, it's just all these little things, all the little things we do with our children. You know, we go on trips with them. It's something that they can remember of us having fun and having a good time together. You know, I don't want them to say, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, we don't do anything. I'm not going to let this define me. I'm not going to let it stop me from enjoying my life with my husband and my children and my family.
Your doctors said that at some time you might lose your vision entirely. No.
It's a slow. It's a slow process, right?
I think that if you keep being positive, keep being happy, keep being the restless spirit you are, you will not come to the point that you will slow down this procedure very much.
It's okay. I can't let myself get down on it. I can't let myself
sometimes you get down.
And sometimes you do.
We have one picture that you're hugging one of your daughters. That's a very sweet picture. You're hugging one of your daughters. Oh. This one.
Yeah, that's Madison.
It was a difficult day?
That's the one night I wrote that poem for her.
Ah.
Because she was upset. She was upset. She was crying because she put something on the counter. And so from here to here, I didn't see it, right? So she got upset, and I went and I asked her, and she was scared for me. And I told her, it's normal to cry, and it's normal to be upset, but we know that this is going to happen, and it's okay because we have each other.
Nice, so sweet.
She's Madison, 13, going on 23. She's very bright, and they all are. All of my children are bright.
They have a bright mom. Who can tell this?
This is Madison. Yeah.
This is you. Sandra, you said something before that it was incredible. When we were talking about your children, you said 3 of our children are on the autism spectrum. I said, they go, oh, tough luck, genes again. And then you said, but I wouldn't have met Mark, who is the love of my life, who is my soulmate, if our children were not on the same class because of having a similar condition.
Yeah.
So our children being on autism spectrum has brought us together.
They brought us together.
So this is wonderful.
Yeah.
This is a very creative way of viewing world, which is true. You know, I believe that. I believe that life gives us a lot of challenges to everybody.
Yeah.
To some people, some challenges are bigger, like in your case.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like to be in your position. I mean, I'm saying that if I were in your position, it would be very difficult, as it is for you.
And you know what? It's
But on the other hand, I would really, really love to be in your position, to have the strength, to enjoy life, live life, and be able to recreate. Recreate from trauma, recreate from loss, recreate from something negative, create something positive. Your extended your recreated family, for example, your children together, your love for life, your love for fun.
Yeah, and it's and you it's not, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy.
It's hard,
right? It's hard. But that's why I say, like, everything happens for a reason. And like, even meeting Mark, I think with them our children bringing us together, like, they knew that together we can do it together.
Yes.
We both have the mindset to do what we
and
want
it seems
to do
that's
for the
working
children.
well for you and the children as well.
Exactly.
And then you have happy parents and happy children.
Yep. And it's
So
awesome.
lovely.
And even my children, you know, at first, it was tough. It was tough for, especially
Adjusting.
to getting adjusting to everything. But now they call him Steppy.
Yes, Steppy. Steppy. Nice.
Steppy.
Steppy.
They call him Steppy. And but I love it.
My children call my husband Papi.
Papi.
It's Papi is not something we call our father. We call Papa. The father say Papi.
Yeah.
Papi. Papi, Steppy. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, they're so fun. Steppy.
And they talk to him. And
I see Mark laughing. So you have to say, you are here today, and I can't get enough of you. Okay, I can't get enough of you. And you are standing here in front of us, and you look so young.
Yeah.
Show her how young she looks, how fresh she looks, how full of life. Even though she's been through difficult patches in life, rough patches in life, even though she has not only difficulty with her hearing, but also with her vision.
Yeah.
Usher syndrome is a reality. It's a reality for Sandra. It's a reality for other people in Cyprus that they do not want to talk about it. For people in Cyprus that they don't want to talk about it. It's a reality for people in Greece that they don't want to talk about it. It's a reality for people around the world. And you are a living paradigm how some person that has this very unlucky card, okay? Because it's like Ellen Keller. You remember the very inspiring Ellen Keller? I don't know if she had Usher syndrome. She had Usher syndrome as well.
You know what?
We don't know.
We don't know.
No. But she was deaf and blind.
Oh, I love her.
Yes, and all the world was inspired by Ellen Keller. But imagine Ellen Keller getting married, having 3 children, being able to divorce,
and remarrying,
and then remarry and have another 4 step-kids, and then get on the plane and come to Cyprus. Bravo! You use the word in Italian as well. Bravo! It's the word in Greek. Bravo!
Oh, thank you. No, I mean, this is wonderful.
You see, she's not miserable. She's not somebody who wants pity.
No.
What's your position on pity? Would you like people to pity of you? Say, oh, poor Sandra.
Yeah, no. It's not poor Sandra. I'm fine.
It's Sandra who has dignity.
This is me. And either you like me or you don't like me. You can't feel bad for me
because
because of something.
How can you not be like that? I can't.
Well, sorry, but no, you know what I mean. It doesn't matter if
you are yourself.
It doesn't matter.
You are expressive.
You can't be so judgmental on people, even with children who are on the spectrum or who have different challenges or disabilities. For anybody in the world, like for anybody, you can't. I think that's what the problem with our society today is, that there are just so many people who are judgmental. And it's like I said, I had an event, a speaking event, and the first thing I said was, what does normal look like? What is normal? What's normal?
Yes.
You know, there is, nobody is perfect in this world. And you just have to show kindness and compassion. And I don't want people to say, oh my goodness, you're going blind, or you're deaf, or you're hard of hearing. Yeah, but
you see, all the time that we were talking here, have you felt that they felt sorry for you? At any point? Sorry, I feel sorry for you.
No.
Or me, I'm talking about me during this interview. Have you felt me feeling sorry for you?
No, not at all.
I think you, as somebody, as any guest.
Yeah.
Any guest, because we have other people who come here and they have disabilities, other people who have no disabilities, but you are a person, and you are Sandra, and you are so shiny, and you are here, and we are having a discussion.
Yeah.
And I really love the fact that you are able to talk so frankly and openly about everything. You know what the title of our show is?
Yeah.
Thekla milame annichta, which Thekla is my name, you know. Don't try to pronounce it. Let's talk freely. This is the name of the show. Let's talk freely about anything.
Yeah.
Talking freely about disabilities, about different genetic situations, about challenges in life, and being able to say, I'm here, I have Usher Syndrome, I'm using a hearing aid, my vision is tunneled, I'm not able to drive anymore, I got divorced, then I got remarried, and we have children on the spectrum, and we went to Germany, and we got conned, and we are here, and it's so normal, and it's so human, and there's nothing to be ashamed of, or nothing to be afraid to express.
Life's too short. You only live once.
You only live once.
YOLO.
So you come with the YOLO. I'm telling you, she's younger than her age, because YOLO is for millennials. Goodness. Sandra, thank you very much for being on my show. I want to kiss you.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. You are such an inspiration. And I'm sure that we'll keep in touch. And through my YouTube channel, maybe you can make videos in the future. You from Canada, me from Cyprus.
Oh, awesome. Okay? I would love it. Yeah.
Thank you. I wish you all the best, you and Mark as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.